I measure this place, so it should be here. Let's drill the hole here. And yeah, it's quite rough.
Watching Wanna Be Overlander, rebuilding by 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐴𝐾.
Hello from Wanna Be Overlander YouTube channel, and welcome back to watch my camperize episodes of my 𝐇𝐎𝐏 I hope this episode we could make this finished. It's never finished. It's like a private home. You have always some sort things to do, but I mean ready for the go test camping. So this episode we need to do some electricals, put all meters, control panels, auxiliary batteries and the water system to working condition. So first I'm going to build my water tank system ready to fit it under the van. So I need to install the hose fittings, and I have this kind of what is this called, tank probe and Watronic water level indicator. So I need to cut these wires, make the installation hole to the tank, testing it how it works. There is some adjustings and make the wirings for that. And there is really not much place for this tank probe, but I think if I install it inside the tank, it goes low enough, and there is those grooves in the van floor where the cable have just tiny place to come to this side where I have a hole where I'm going to put those cables through the floor. So that's what we are planning to do right now. And I'm taking the real 38mm, which is for the tank fitting, and now I'm going to ruin this my tank. We have already welded here the filler neck, but now I'm going to drill the hole, make the probe, and then testing it how it works, so then I can fit the tank under the van. So I measure this place, so it should be here, and let's drill the hole here. I could put it a little bit in the backwards like this, and yeah, it's a quite rough tool. Yeah. Now we got the hole for the probe. So I'm not going to filming all. I'm show you later when I get the progress. So now we have a nice clean cut here. I'm shortening this probe legs, and we have this service access here in down, and I'm going to use this rubber seals. We are installing this. Is it similar both ways? Yes. And we try to install this from inside because we need this head stays lower. So let's see, am I able to put this here? Yeah, it should go quite nice. And yeah, they should have a 10 to 20mm gap between the tank bottom, so I could put my thing in there. So yeah, it goes quite nice. And I need to check this cable be on the groove of tank bottom, but this nut stays under this which touch the van floor, so to the bottom of the groove 7 centimeters. So this cable should have access there in the floor. and then we just tightening this. I think it's not need to be over tight, just hand tight, because it's a very soft silicone seal. The next thing, I'm going to fill the tank and testing it. Water pump also to there and check how it works too. So these are my tank fittings, and this hose is quite tight to here. I'm not going to use a clamp here, but this end I put the hose clamp here, and I measure the length from this mounting place surface to reach to the bottom of the tank, and this should touch the bottom of tank slightly, and this another hose is a breather hose. So now I'm going to fit the pump here. I could put now any position, but I think this is just fine. And we have seal here. Quite rough treats, but it should go there. Yeah, it goes on. Anyway, I could see the leaking when I'm testing this. Oh, it still rotates, so it's not tight yet. And then all these things, I have one hole there in where I should turn these hoses up. We will go to make some testings. I show you, I need to take a battery and a couple of hoses and make some connections so we can see meter workings without the water and filling it, and then we can test the pump. So that's the next thing. This is just for the test connections, not the proper fittings. Perhaps I should push this button when I can see the readings. Now we don't have water in the tank. Let's test the meter first. Can I get any readings? Oh, quite nice. Yeah, it shows empty now. But let's check once again. Yeah, now it shows it's a half. Okay, now I see the water is getting full. What the meter shows now. I could say this is quite nice results. Water level is somewhere perhaps here. So now I'm able to testing water pump. I could take the groundings here and then the electric here. Yeah. Is there any pressure? They should have a one bar pressure. Yeah, I'm happy with the results. So that's it. The fuel gauge works, empty tank and full tank, and the 50%. So the results is quite nice now. I show again. It's quite full, so now 90%. So now my tank is prepared for the install. I put some tape cover here so that adjusting screw have some kind of protection here. I'm not sure what else I could do for that. And I put some plastic back over this hose cap fittings because it's quite deep. I don't want it filled with the mud. So let's start to try to fitting this tank to the van. Am I able to do that without lifting the van? Before testing it, it was possible, but now I have a hoses here. I need to try to put these hoses to the hole. Now the hoses are. Then we try to lift the tank, the whole tank up. It's exactly fitting, so if it's not straight, it's not going. We are getting there. Getting there. There is no any access to see any hose fittings or anything when this is on the place. So they are just where they are. We are about there. Put the washers and nuts. Let's try it. Let's try to put this on. I need to go to grind my washers one side smaller, then I could install this. My hose is a little bit too thick. If this lower end is shorter, perhaps hose could turn easier. I'm not sure, but I'm going to leave it like this. You could not do it better with this hose, but definitely there is enough place. It's a very big hose, enough place to fill the tank. And the breather, there is a breather, so it should go easy in water. Then I need to find some way to fill these holes. I don't know yet what I'm going to do here. Yeah, I have this kind of switches, and which I'm going to use for the interior lights and water pumps and USB ports, so I could activate the circuit and get the LED light here, so I could see there is an electrician and this kind. But I could not install this to my wall mount because the wall is 15mm thick, so this hooks which holds this on the position are not deep enough, so I need to have some kind of panel for that anyway. So I didn't make the hole there, so I buy this kind of aluminum bar. Then I'm going to cut a little bit bigger hole to my closet wall. This aluminum bar will fill that hole, and I put some screws on the corner so I could have all switches in this panel. This is what I'm planning to do, so I hope I could make this looking nice. I'm not going to filming this all, but I make some kind of masking tape cover here where I can make some drawings. There is also this kind of a slot marks that position so it's straight and it's not spinning in the hole. 20mm drill. I don't have fancy tools, but yeah, I can have this tape measure. This looks a little bit more clear. You see my old one, there's all color is gone, so this is a little bit nicer. LED light is up. This is what we need, because then so its light is closed, so the circuit is open, and now it's on. First of all, we measure 2 centimeter. We start with then we have 1 centimeter in the end. That's what we are planning to do, and then every 3 centimeter. 2, 5, 8, 11 and 14 centimeter panel. and then cut this to 16. So we get the 16. I mark those on the other side. Get the lines here. See, my markings are not, they might have a small, the problem is I have something under here. Yeah, now it's better. Get the straight lines. This is not an engine. This is not a vehicle engine, so we do not need to be so crazy with this. Yeah, that's it. Then we need to find the center line, 4 centimeters, so it's a 2 centimeter. 2 centimeter. This should be center enough. Then the screw holes. Now we have drilling spots for the switches. They are coming here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 switches in this side. And then the screw holes, which I'm going to fit. It's nice. Half centimeter from the corners, I think so. Are they too short? They are too short. Perhaps a little bit inner. 7 millimeter. Yeah, like that. And then again 7 millimeter. Okay, we get the spots. Then we should mark all drilling spots. They might have a minor outlines, but that's life. That's life. That's the whole thing. I'm going to drill this first before I cut this shorter. It's easier for me to control this bar. I'm going to pre-drill 3 millimeter holes. I need 3 millimeter anyway for the screws, and then I could have a bigger. So let's see how this is going to be. I like drilling aluminum because it's quite soft material. Okay. We don't want to scratch that surface much. And then I could take a 10 millimeter drill or something, open those holes. Start getting warm. Then we take a bigger drill. I have a 13 millimeter biggest, then we need to use that tapper drill. So let's drill 13 millimeter. I need to make also one panel for the rear end, because there is one shower pump needs a switch there. But let's do this first. So now we got the 13 millimeter drill holes. Then we take this drill bit, and I'm not sure is it sharp enough. I hope so. So this should be 20 milli, exactly this drill bit. So I need to hold it like this. Yeah, I'm scared this happens. I could not hold this. It's quite aggressive. If I put this on the vise, I could hold it better, but then I scratch this surface. Otherwise, if I'm not hold it in here, in this area. But let's see. The problem is I could not hold it with 2 hands. Oh, this is quite hardcore. Should I need to make some kind of jig for this bar? We're getting through. We're getting through already. So perhaps I could manage to do this. It's quite rough work, but without bending the bar, that's the main thing. So I make some kind of jig for this, so then it's not spinning and I could use 2 hands. So I'm going to screw this bar here, so then I could hold it better. You should be able to move this here. So now I think I'm able to use 2 hands for drilling. I don't have handle for this drill, second handle, so that's the reason. But now I could not go to drill from opposite. Yeah, we're getting through, so this is better. Then we need to make those slots before we remove masking tapes. Yeah, we're getting there. I'm so scared this happens and I bent this bar. I hope not yet. It looks like it's bent already. Just a tiny bit, so it's not a disaster yet. Yeah. It's bent a bit, tiny bit. Yeah, I think so. I could bend it back straight. I need to check it later, not now. The last hole. So now we need those slots. Going to a little bit checking this. Yeah, they are going to place, but we need those slots. Yes, we need those slots. Yeah, in here. They could be a bit bigger, something like that. So I'm going to use this one to make that slot. So let's try. Am I able to install that? Yeah, now it's going on the place. Nice. And I could take it off too. Yeah, just like that. I think it's just fine now. This kind of screws, so I need to get this to the level. Problem with these are always you don't know how deep you need to drill, so the screws are fitting nice. Almost all the way through, then it's quite nice. Another head. So let's see how this looks. I need to also open those holes from opposite. Yeah, we don't scratch it much. It's quite okay. A little bit cleaning. I'm going to clear those whole edges and a little bit clean this, but I'm quite happy with the result. This is just fine for the switches. And then also we need another side a bit, use this tool. So the panel is ready, now it's straight. I'm going to use this interior light switch. It's this way on, this way off. So the light is like upwards. This is better, but I need to install this in this way. So let's put the switches on and we will see how the panel looks like. Then two water pumps, which this is for USB. I don't know which order I'm going to use this. Perhaps I put down here this red button. This is for the water from secondary pump from the shower, for the shower pump. And this is for the sink, and this I use for the USB charger. So this is not have a light because it's not need to use electric. So there is a little bit slack in the slots what I make here because I make them a little bit too big or something. After they could a little bit rotate here, but I think it's not a problem. Now the switches are here. This is like an elevator switch panel, but light, water pump, USB, secondary pump. So I could make some kind of labels here. This is nice. Now I need to cut the hole size of wider than switch, and this way to cut hole there. So I'm going to do that, and then we could install this panel.
So my heater panel is here, and here is a solar panel, monitor, water tank monitor, and my switches, which we just make this board. So I could feel a little bit where I bend it, but let it be. This looks just nice. Light switches, USB, water pumps. So I'm quite happy with these results. And inside I need to make some kind of cover here. Thin plywood to close so I'm not damage the cables when I fill this blocker. So this is my solar cell cables, and there is electric all the time because you could not close solar panels. If there is a light, there is electricity. So I need to be sure for I'm not short circuit them. I make sure I put soldering them so these are sure good contacts and these are not loosened, because cables hanging from the regulator, so I'm not want this goes off and drops to the floor and with the electric on. So it could have a fire in this closet. This shrinkable 2:1 have a glue on, so this makes a good protection here, so this also not a drop off. I always want to be sure for I have good contacts. So now these cables are fine. Let's make some test measures. Let's testing what kind of readings we could get here now. There's not sun, but anyway there is a 10 volt, 10.6 volt. What about another panel? There is a 12.8 volt. So this is one have more than another. Obviously they are not in the same position in the roof. This is higher, this is lower. This is I marked them. This is rear panel and this is front panel. So the front panel have a little bit more shade now. So but now I'm able to start to fit the regulator here. Solar panel controller, I put it here and make these cables go there. I need to lock them here good, so if they goes off they don't hang in far there.
That's it. Now I have a power plug here, and this is for the water pump for shower. And here I'm going to fit the water hose. I have this kind of fitting. This was quite expensive, I think 45 euros. It's way over my budget, but what can I do? This is so nice piece. And it's perfect fit for my shower hose, and I have this kind of fitting another end where I can fit the 10mm water hose straight to the closet wall and to the tank. So let's fit this on. I'm not going to filming this, I can show you what is going on.
So this is inside my locker cabinet, or what you call it, and my shower hose fitting. So I'm going to drill this almost all the way in, so it's a little bit too long, but no problem. And then just fit it in and plastic nut. The hose end is not straight, so let's make it straight. Yeah, you see. Yeah, it goes nice. This should hold 1 bar pressure, a little bit more than hand tight, I think so. The problem is if water leaks to the locker wall. This is not a waterproof material, so definitely it's not need to leak. Then we can put the shower hose here. So I'm going to put this shower head here, because I marked this place here because this way I think it might not be shaking here. It's a little bit against the wall. So I fit the door. There is some minor adjusting issue. I could not get this upper position to level, but it's never mind. It works fine now, and lock closed and anything is fine. But this one is not come over here like I remember. So, and then we put this shower handle here. I'm going to fit it here like that. This is a quite soft material. My tool goes quite deep, and there is this soft material. I need the shorter screws. These are seals for the water, but so the water not gets to screw holes. So I could use these seals. Why not? Take off this my markings here. It's about like that. We are not going to shooting with this. This should just snap on. There's these hooks and this down, this lid where to release it. So put the up in and then snap it on. So it's okay. It should be here like that, and I think it's not going to rattle here. So this is the handheld shower, so you could use just the amount of water what you need. Shower hose here, this should be hand tied. So now we should have a shower fitting here. So put the pump on, take the shower, put the curtain down, and then we could shower here. So I'm quite happy with this results. And check my fittings, this panel. I make these labels here, and this labels looks much better than what I do to another panel. So I had an idea, put all the way length and then cut it, so because you could not position those easy to middle. So now it looks much better. I have this main switch which I'm going to install to that locker, and under the sink locker there is a battery, and then another side I put this kind of cable, and I have one connection point there where I could install anything if I have some extra accessories, and then another cable goes to same place. I need to split it to the 4 connection points here in the fuse box, where I take the electric to the switchboard. So this kind of a special cable. This is 2.5 square millimeter, and this is 6 Perhaps I'm always a little bit oversize anything, but I think it's better to not have much power loss in the cables. I don't know why this fuse box, they don't have a one side connected together. I take off this one plastic insert, but I don't have any idea what is the meaning of that. I think this my special cable will do that. It's not easy to put the two cables 2.5 millimeter because it's then already quite thick, so need to have these yellow cable connectors. I take always off that plastic because I want to soldering all connections. I don't want cables drop off. I'm not trust if you just squeeze it with the pliers. So, and then we will see how we could manage to push this cables on here. We push this in the back side of the box. So, and then we need to be able to turn the cables like that, so we could install this to the wall. Luckily we don't have a metal there, that's a wood board, so it's not get the shortcut there. Yeah, now it's on there. And then we should turn these cables. They just have a place. Now I could mounting this in the wall, and this actually could not drop off there. My cables start to be ready, but the issue is here. I need to put this inside a sock, so I'm not want to wrap them all with the tape. I'm already soldering them here, so I'm not able. I need to cut it here once. But I think now we start to have sort of all cables together, so I need to put them a little bit together like this, because have this about equal. Wrapping them too tight, you could not turn them easy. Then I need to cut this one wire. I'm going to soldering it back together. This wire is feed for the lights. This wire is feed for the water pumps. So there is 4 switches together. Then there is one switch for the USB connectors. This goes to the USBs, this goes to the freshwater tank, this goes to the another water tank. So we get all here. My wires are a little bit not equal anymore. You just turn this loom and they change. So let's put this on the sleeve, looking much better if the cables are in the sleeve. It's gonna be like this. Then I need to cut the excessive off. I think now we are able to install switches. I could soldering this back together and make ends for these cables. So double check wirings. I think this 12 volt socket, DIN socket, this outer core is grounding and inner core is positive. I hope so. So this way you connect this, and then this switch LED light requires grounding, so we put the grounding wire there, and then this, which I mark plus, is a hot wire which we put down, and which I try to connecting now because I soldering this. It could sometimes make a bit stiff to put it should be fine. And then this last one is this hot wire which come from the fuse connect. I could not get the hole all the way down, and they eat a little bit place for my locker, so I could fit them here like this. So I need to screw here some kind of cable tie. I could not filming that, there's no place. This is my switch connection and my light connections, and they say this is a connector for the dimmer, but I'm not have dimmer, so I'm going to cut these cables and direct connect them to the ground wires and then to the switches. I have here empty slots. And one thing I want to tell you why I don't like to filming much when I building car is I listen music all the time, and I need to close music always when I'm filming.
So if I'm filming time-lapse video, there's no voice, then it's not a problem. I have a small issue with this blue wire down here because this is a little bit shorter than another one. Going to tie this wire loom here. The main thing is I want to be able to replace switches all the time, because switches could always, I don't have contactors because we don't want to lose electricity, so that's why we need to have access to change if they get hot and melt. Cut these cables here like that. Then I need to go take the tools to cut these wires and put the connectors on. I'm not going to filming that here, there's no place.
Yeah, let's start to cutting pipes. I don't have I have some kind of plan, but not the complete one. How I put the parts together here. I need to use this kind of one-way valve, but that's the problem when I want to drain out water from my system. Then I just need to open some hose clamps. I could not make anything very perfect because just cut this pipe here. The reason for this is this kind of 0.4 bar cutout connector, so it's when the pump reaches the pressure, this should cut off, and if this valve keeps the pressure, then the pump stops. I think so, this might work. We will see. Then I'm going to use this clear hose. It's much nicer. So you just need to do, if you overthinking, it's never done. Just need to cutting hoses and fitting them, then you get the progress. If there is a leak, then we fix it. Sometimes I'm boring, I'm overthinking and I don't get any progress. We don't want to block the access to any electricals, and that's the one thing. Nice measure. These are going to lead to the tap, but I'm not going to use the tap water from this tank so much. I think so. So the system is almost done. So this blue hose comes from under the floor tank, comes through a one-way valve to pressure switch, and then it goes to back shower. Another direction from T connection comes to this filter, and then here to this ball valve. So if I open this ball valve, it allows water goes to the sink tap. And here is a one-way valve which comes from the tank unit. This is for the drinking water. The pump pumps to the tap because there is a one-way valve. It blocks water goes to a wrong direction. So my technical space starts to be ready, complete. This is my drinking water tank connection with the one-way valve, and here is the pump connection, and this goes to the tap, and anything should be on the place. I use lots of cable ties, and everything should be on the place. I put the sticker here so you could see pump to sink. So this is off now and this is on. So I could deliver water from the second pump tank under floor to sink if I open this. So anything should be on the place. So next thing what I'm going to do, I put the fuses on here. Air heater already has a fuse here. This is just for the tank meter, because it comes from the bigger fuse, so there is a tiny cable, so I put this fuse here. As you see, it goes to there. So let's put the fuse on. So I have this junk, very cheap battery box, but this is just a temporary and my hobby battery. now we have a power. This fuse box show the red LED light anyway. There's no fuse in. The reason I put this fuse box, I think I could remember the solar power unit could have electricity all the time. That's why I take off this fuse. But let's put that fuse on. So I have a 20 amp fuse. I'm going to fit it here. This is my solar panel fuse box. Actually, we get the reading here. This is the first time we are going to turn the power on. So let's try first thing. Yeah, we got the light there. We get the light here. We get the power on USB port, and water level meter shows the tank is empty. The next thing is we put the water in the tank and test the water system. So this is very exciting moment. Let's put the first time in this van history the water tank into the system on the locker. And we have this connection here, but the pump is not on. So now we turn first time the pump on. And what happens? Actually pump runs, water not comes yet, but there is definitely air in the system. Do we get the water leak? Yeah, nice. And where the water goes, do we get any leaks here? That's I'm curious. We have a definitely too long hose here where the gray water goes. We need to check this and cut these connections and put those proper in, but now we could test. Water runs here. It's definitely something. So this is too deep. Water could not get off here easy. As I lift the hose here, water runs off. I need to make something for this, but that's a more small thing. And water comes to the bucket. Yeah.
I need to show you this. This tank comes with a diesel heater, so it's a perfect fit here. If I could use this bottle here, I could fill this cabin and can have some extra water here. So let's testing our water system secondary pump, because I have a small issue. I put one valve there a wrong direction. So now we should have water here. I'm not sure how that pressure switch working, but here it seems to working nice. Perfectly. Actually, the pump stops when I stop the water. So in my test run, I could use the shower, but I could unpressurize this, I think so, by switching off this pump. Then I open here and then the system is unpressurized. So the water system works fine. Next thing, I'm going to clear my garage and then put the cabin doors back, and then I could install the seats and etc. This is actually very perfect fit. I could close the door and the water tanks stays in there, and they don't have place to much move here. So I think this is nice, but this water hose might have a big noise here, so I'm going to glue some kind of soft material here near of the sink.
Yeah. I needed one little bit adjustment there, but it's okay. Anything goes on. This door is not necessary. It depends what kind of freeze we are going to use, but right now it's not like that. Then the small locker door, and this starts to be complete. So we have seat belt on the place, not the complete, but let's throw the cushions on. And this is the first time. I hope so this goes permanently. Let's try how I can fit the bolts on here. Then we throw the seat belts over. Yeah, like that. It's not bolts not tightened yet, but the seat belt should work. I'm not filming all. I bolt all seat cushions and that's it. I try to finish to install my 𝐄𝐿 up bunk, or what is this, roof bed. So I need to screw some screws here to mount this last section complete to the place. Yeah, I think it's go there. Yeah. Yeah. So now this up bunk is here on the place, and it goes like that. You just push from down here a little bit, and the gas struts push it up, so that works nice. And this is not for the under 6-year-olds. That's it. Now I have just some minor finishing here in the dash and put the last parts on, and cover box and etc. And then front seats and a little bit clean up here, and then we are quite ready for the test drive. So that's it. This is about to be ready now. Tomorrow have a midsummer party here in Finland, and I'm going to have a test camping with this van. So I'm going to end this video here a little bit unprofessional, but not showing you what we have done, but I have to make some quick setup with this van in the morning, so then I can go. I have probably been building this 2 days and nights without much sleeping, and I'm very tired. Main thing is we can go to test camping tomorrow, and I hope we can have a whole weekend, couple of nights near of the ocean, and we will see how is it sleeping first time here in this van after the 3 years building. So I'm going to show you in next video a little bit more anything when we are outside another environment, and thank you for watching, and if you like, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So see you in next episode. So new seats looks like this in the van. Tomorrow I need to check the oils and everything before we go. I have to take off this cardboard, and this piece I'm not mounted yet. Battery is not locked with anything. I need to put some strap there and this capping door, and that's it.